Hi guys, my name is Carl Joy Cuevas. So guys, may we introduce to you the life of Johannes Kepler, his educational background, his works, and also his love life. Oh, sana all my love life. Yes, and after all of what, we can now proceed to his discoveries and published works, and so on. Especially what he is focusing through by our second speaker, Mr. Espinosa. So alam naman natin na without scientists and researchers sa ating universe is we really don't know kung ano ang nangyayari at mangyayari pa lamang sa loob at labas ng ating planeta at kalawakan. And it is a big help for us to know and learn and open up another perspective for our solar system and so on. And now, let us explore the whole life of Johannes Kepler. Let's go! So guys, did you all know that Johannes Kepler was born on December 27, 1571 in Wilderstadt? This is just a small town before, but for now, it is called the Stuttgart of Germany. So way back when he is only a child, siya ay kaapat na anak pala nila Heinrich Kepler at Katharina. So itong kanyang ama pala ay isang missionary na iniwan ang kanyang pamilya nang si Johannes ay just only 5 years old. And inaakala ng pamilyang Kepler ang kabilang ang ama ay namatay in an 80 years war. Wow! See, it took 80 years bago siya namatay. Isn't amazing? While his mother, she is Can and Keeper's daughter, so his mother did her best for Johannes explore and experience the beauty and nature. And yan yung naging dahilan at daan upang magkaroon ng interes at mahalin ang astronomy. So after that, his mother took him into a high place na kung saan para masaksihan ni Kepler ang Great Comet noong 1577 nang maayos, and noong 1580 sa edad na 9 years old ay nasaksihan niya ang lunar eclipse. So in 1589 in present, si Kepler ay 18 years old na and nagsimula na siyang mag-aral sa University of Tübingen, and yung purpose niya is gusto niyang mapatunayan na magaling siyang mathematician. After that, si Kepler ay na-meet niya ang isang professor sa naturang university named Michael Maestlin. He is a mathematics professor. Sa kanya natuto si Kepler about sa planetary motion. And naging tagapaghanga siya sa Copernican system, stated that sun is put at the center rather than the earth at the center of the universe. Pero si Kepler ay gustong maging isang minister habang nag-aaral siya ng philosophy and theology. Pero siya ay naging teacher ng mathematics and astronomy sa Graz when he was 20 years old in April 94. And when 1596 was come, all his experiments ay naging daan sa kanya para makapublish ng isang libro called Mysterium Cosmographicum. And habang siya ay busy sa pag-aaral sa university ay may nakilala siyang babaeng nagngangalang Barbara Moyer, and she was 23 years old and began courting each other. Uy, sana all. And the couple was married on April 27, 1597, and nagkaroon sila ng dalawang anak. But unfortunately, namatay due to infancy. But sa kabutihan palad, sila ay nagkaroon ulit ng tatlong anak. Isang babae named Susanna and dalawang lalaki named Friedrich and Ludwig. And hindi nyo na itatanong, Kepler published 4 more books, and it talks about the sun, stars, planets, and their motions. Grabe talaga sila nung sana all mga bright. And now guys, I'm giving the turn for Mr. Espinosa to speak and explain about the exploration of Kepler's studying astronomy. Bye guys!
Hi guys, again I am Mr. Espinosa, and now I will share it to you the journey of Johannes Kepler through his experiments, his studies, and especially his published work for his entire life. Let's go! After Kepler published his books, and that was mentioned by Carl Cuevas earlier, in order to strengthen it, he needs to collab with the eminent astronomers. And isa na doon si Tycho Brahe. And this is Tycho Brahe. After that, the two astronomers have a communication. But unfortunately, there is a conflict in Graz wherein doon nakatira sila Kepler. So because of that, Kepler accepted the invitation of Tycho Brahe in Prague. Kepler arrived in Benátky nad Jizerou on February 4, 16,000. And that Kepler met Tycho Brahe with his assistant and stayed for a couple of months. And that is the reason why Tycho Brahe have a trust for Kepler and allowed him to access more and more for his data. So after the band of two, to be followed by an argument wherein all the works that they made was now an arrangement na lang. And because of that, Kepler returned to Graz to collect his family. And because of the tension by politics and religious in Graz, Kepler cannot come back from the Prague immediately as soon as possible. It is because after Kepler refused to be a Catholicism in Graz, Kepler banished o pinalayas. So that is the reason why siya at ang kanyang pamilya ay bumalik sa Prague. And noong 1601, that year, Kepler was accepted by Tycho Brahe. And unfortunately, October 24, 1601, Tycho Brahe died unexpectedly. So after Kepler take the unfinished work of Tycho Brahe, he was given a task of Emperor Rudolf II. He needs to provide any astrological advice so that Kepler is not hesitate to share any advice. It is because noong nasa university pa siya, he was given any experience or share some idea sa kanyang family or friends. So, hindi siya nag-aalangan na mag-share ng astrological advice of kang Emperor Rudolf II. And because of that, Emperor showed an active interest of Kepler's work. But unfortunately, Emperor don't have any amount of money na even sa kanyang pamilya ay hindi niya matustusan. So, di ba namatay si Brahe unexpectedly? So, Kepler have a chance to use the work with or without permission of Brahe. So, instead of he will gonna be presented his own work, but he used the work of Brahe exclusively to Emperor Rudolf II. That manuscript published entitled Astronomiae Pars Optica, or that means the optical part of astronomy. So what is this? So this is the idea of reflection and refraction, and also it explained the astronomical phenomena. And just like, for example, the size of astronomical bodies, the nature of eclipses. And it also investigates the light that regard for our public cameras and especially to our human eye. October 1604, Kepler began to study the new bright evening star, which is what we call supernova. So that he conduct more and more research. This observation lead him to the publication of the another study of his, the Astronomiae Nova, which Kepler's two laws of planetary motion. And on 1610, Kepler was contacted and met Galileo de Galilei. Oh, I know that every one of us are so very familiar with his name and with his face. So Galileo told Kepler his observations with the four satellites that are beating the planet Jupiter. I know that Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. So, the purpose why he contacted Kepler, it is because he wants to clarify or to confirm something with his observation, whether it is right or wrong or kulang pa. So this confirmation of his came an excitement and amaze. It is because not just only for Galileo's observation, but also they had been achieved through the use of the relatively new device called telescope. So we all know that telescope is the most important thing in astronomy. It is because it used to identify or to observe any celestial objects outside for in our universe.
1611 would mark another significant turn in Kepler's life. Why? It's because the Emperor Rudolf II was failing his health, and there's no choice but to forcibly abdicate him from his throne by his own brother Matthias, the King of Bohemia, and it became apparent that Kepler's days at court were numbered. And in addition, during at the time his wife Barbara became ill with Hungarian spotted fever, and not just only his wife but also his three children contracted smallpox. That's why, unfortunately, his son Frederick, his 6-year-old son, died, and also his wife Barbara. Kepler had been offered a post by the University of Padua as mathematics professor to replace Galileo, but Kepler refused it because he wanted to keep his family in Germany. 1612, the death of the Emperor Rudolf II. His brother Matthias reaffirmed Kepler's position at court and allowed Kepler to move to Linz. So that's what I meant earlier, that this is his another opportunity in his life. And when he was in Linz, Kepler published another work of a formal and systematic that tells the date of Christ's birth, and he also wrote detailed on how to measure the volume of containers. The first one was published on 1613 and the second one was in 1615. Between 1615 and 1621, Kepler published a volume work called Epitome Astronomiae Copernicanae, or Epitome of Copernican Astronomy. This work of Kepler contained all three of his laws of planetary motion, with the first two being purposely extended to cover all the planets, the moon, and the satellites of Jupiter. He also published an astronomical calendars in which he would forecast all political events, the weather, and the planetary positions. So that's the existing calendar of us now, right? Because it is the common most important for all of us because this helps us to know, to be aware, and be updated in our country of these days. 1624, the calendars started to cause more trouble than they were worth due to the ambiguity of his predictions, or naging malabo na, or hindi na naintindihan ng mga tao ang kanyang calendar. So the last published of his calendar was on 1624 and publicly burned. And in addition, during the time, his mother Katharina was accused for witchcraft or pangkukulam. So Kepler found a solution and devised to be a successful legal defense. And after 14 months in prison, his mother Katharina was released in October 1624. 1623, Kepler had finally completed the Rudolphine tables, but they would not be printed until 1627, at Kepler's own expense in the city of Ulm, which was where Kepler and his family had moved to following more religious tension and besieging in Linz on 1626. Lastly, Kepler finally moved to Regensburg in the southeast of Germany, but shortly after arriving there, he fell ill with a fever and died at the age of 58 on November 15, 1630, and buried at Regensburg. So that's it, guys and sir. Hope you all get lesson and knowledge from us, especially my partner Carol Jo Cuevas, while sharing the whole life of Johannes Kepler. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye!